friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and welcome to another reading vlog. So for March's reading vlog, I guess, I am reading I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com by Kimberly Lemming, and this is like one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and I got it the day it released, but Kitty from Spicy Cats Reads made it her monster romance March book club pick, so I waited until March to start reading it. Today is Tuesday, March 4th. I started yesterday, and I'm on page 57. And oh wait, I haven't even told you guys what this book is about. But I was about to start jumping in without giving y'all like a quick little summary. So we're following Dorothy, our main character, Dorothy Valentine, and she is currently getting her PhD in wildlife biology, and we're starting the book off with her in the desert, and she's like basically just watching these meerkats tribes go at it. And this is like, again, like she's interning for a program to get her PhD. So we start off with that, and this book is very chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. Like every page, you turn every page and there's some crazy shit happening every page. Like I feel like I'm suffering from whiplash every other page or so. Literally everything happens in like the first 12 pages. She's studying the meerkats, she gets attacked by a lion, and then she gets abducted by aliens. Like literally this all happens in like 12 pages. And she awakens in a spaceship and she's like, what the heck is going on? Like the last thing she remembers is her being attacked by a lion. And then she wakes up in a examination table by aliens, and the aliens don't look like your normal aliens. They look like space owls or something like that. She literally calls them like owlish people. And she, you know, attacks one of the owls, begins her escape plan. The lion is also captured, and while she's escaping, I think if I remember correctly, she hits something and a glass containing some sort of blue goop falls on her and it covers her completely, but she continues her escape, and then she helps the lion escape, but like not on purpose, because she runs into a room while she's trying to figure out how to get the hell out of the spaceship. And then she runs into the examination room where the lion is being held, the same lion that attacked her, and she's like, oh hell no, I gotta get the fuck out of here. She inadvertently like helps him escape, because it's pure chaos from the moment you open this book. So it's just like everything, it's like she's a walking ball of chaos. Like everything she walks into, everything she does is like a domino effect. So she inadvertently helps the lion escape just by like creating chaos in the room. And then she's like, I don't know what's going on. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And she is able to, I'm pretty sure it's because of the goop, she's able to understand what the aliens are saying. After the goop falls on her, she figures out where the escape pod is, because the aliens are like, oh shit, we need to get out of here, because now the lion's on the loose and attacking all the owl alien people. And so she runs to like this certain area of the spaceship. She gets on the escape pod, and while the escape pod doors are like slowly closing, the lion himself charges into her escape pod. And they're both, so we have lion, and then we have Dorothy in the escape pod, and she's like, what the fuck, this is my life. And she's just like, it's just so funny, because she's just like popping off on this lion, because she's like, okay, I'm gonna die, so fuck you, lion. Like she's cussing this lion out, and the lion just obviously doesn't understand her. He doesn't know what the hell's going on, but he takes a liking to her because he sees her as the one who saved him, since she again inadvertently helped him escape from the research room. And he licks her face, and her face has like that blue goop that fell on her earlier. And I guess that goop is like some sort of like translation potion or something. I'm not sure, because after he licks her face as like a thank you, all of a sudden they can understand each other, and they're talking to each other. And of course, you know, he's like, oh, what's your name? And he says his name because she's like, well, what's your name? And he growls. Like, it's obviously like a lion name, and he growls his name. And she's like, I don't know how to say that. And then he's like, okay, well, give me a human name. And of course, you know, her name is Dorothy, so she's like, all right, your name's gonna be Toto. And he's like, Toto, that's a strong name. And she's like, sure, haha. And yeah, so then afterwards, they're in the escape pod. They crash land into this planet that's filled with dinosaurs. And then they're saved by this goat alien looking man. And he's hot. And that is where I left off. So that all happened, I kid you not. Like, I'm only on chapter 5. That all happened in those chapters. And there's a lot more that I kind of left off because obviously I don't want to spoil too much. But my brain, I kid you not, my brain was hurting when I was reading the first 5 chapters. I was like, oh my god, like, what? There is too much going on. And yeah, it is definitely a very, very chaotic book, but I'm pretty sure that's, like, I feel like that's the point of the story. It's supposed to be just, like, pure chaos. And I'm here for it. I love me a good chaotic time. I will say, it doesn't have the same charm as her other series, the Mead Mishaps. And I was thinking about that earlier today when I was getting ready to film. I was like, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's chaotic, but it's just something about it is not fully pulling me in like her Mead Mishaps. But again, we're only on page 57. This book is almost 300 pages long, so I'm not too worried about it. I feel like, you know, we're about to get to some crazier stuff, and I'm hoping that it'll pull me in by then. I'm pretty sure this is like the beginning of a new series. I think it's called like Cosmo Chaos or something. I don't remember. I'll put the name of the series. So I feel like we're gonna be following more characters throughout the series, and I'm excited. I heard this book is a lot spicier than her other installments, and I'm like, okay, because the other books, they weren't that spicy, but they had like some really good spicy scenes. And yeah, apparently this book has a lot of good spice scenes, and I think I might be coming up on one shortly. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, that's basically it for now for I Got Abducted by Aliens and a chapter rom-com. So I'm having a good time so far, a very good chaotic time. And then in case you guys missed my previous video, my February wrap-up video, I pulled a book from my TBR jar because one of the challenges I gave myself for the year is to pick out books from my TBR jar and slowly start cutting down on my physical TBR, which, by the way, it was at 60 when I first created this. Y'all, that number has since increased. I'll get to that in a second, but yeah, that number has since increased, so I'm definitely gonna have to add more books to my TBR jar. But in my February wrap-up, I talked about how I don't really have much plans for March, only because I'm going to start working on a themed reading vlog. I ended up picking a book from here, like I was saying, and I picked up, I don't even know why I'm trying to show you guys, because I literally tried doing this in my February wrap-up. I was like, look guys, you can't see shit. I picked up Immortality, a Love Story. It's a sequel in a duology for Anatomy of Love Story. It's YA historical fiction, and it takes place in, I want to say, what year? I want to say the 1800s? The late 1700s, early 1800s, and it takes place in Edinburgh, and we're following Hazel Bennett. No, sorry, her name is Hazel Sennett. And she's a lady, and in Anatomy, she wants to be a surgeon. This is late 1700s, early 1800s, and women weren't allowed to be like in the medical field at all. And this is also a little bit, I could be wrong, because it's been 2 years since I've read, well, it's actually gonna be 3 years since I've read Anatomy. And I believe there is some true historical context in this, because this is during the time in Edinburgh where people would rob bodies from graves to sell to physicians and surgeons so they can practice on human bodies, well, dead human bodies, to learn more about anatomy and perfect surgery. It's very unethical. By the way, the history of medicine is extremely unethical. So this was like a very unethical thing to do at that time, but that was the only way for people in medicine to truly learn more about the human body, because you're not really gonna operate on alive people. Even though historically, unfortunately, that has happened. But you know what I mean. Edinburgh, Hazel, she's a female. She can't be in the medical field. She wants to be a surgeon because her older brother was studying to be a surgeon, I believe. I could be incorrect. Again, it's been a minute. And she wants to be in the field of medicine, so she dresses up as her older brother, because her older brother does die, but he's already dead when you start the book. It's not like a spoiler or anything. And she uses her older brother's clothing and dresses up like him to go to these medical classes, basically go to medical school. She dresses up as a boy and pays for it because, you know, she comes from a influential family. She has money, so she's able to like do shit like this. And she gets caught, she gets kicked out, and so she meets this boy named Jack, who is a body snatcher, and he robs bodies from graves to sell to people, so, you know, to sell to physicians and medical school and blah blah blah. And she buys bodies off of him, and they develop a romance, blah blah blah. This book was a 5-star read for me. This book genuinely traumatized me. First of all, I have health anxiety. I have really bad health anxiety. And second of all, the detail that they go into the medical stuff and the surgery and like surgical stuff. Ooh, it was literally like giving me chills and like freaking me out. Anyways, this was very well written. I gave this 5 stars. This book traumatized me because I took this to work. Because I had like 50 pages left and there was some crazy shit happening. I'm like, I need to know what happens. Took this to work, finished the last page, like the last 150 pages at work, sobbing my eyes out. Okay? And then I had a meeting. So I had to clean up at the bathroom, go to that meeting, and hold myself together. And then after that meeting, I went back to the bathroom and continued to cry to myself. And continued to cry. This was a 5-star read. I loved this book. And then I pre-ordered the second book. I never picked it up because I'm just too fucking scared. I'm too traumatized. I'm too scared of how this is gonna end. But I guess it's fate, because that is what I picked up from my TBR jar to read. But I'm listening to Immortality on Hoopla. I'm on chapter 10. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm on chapter 10. I don't know what page that is on here. I think that's 105 on the physical book. And so far, it's a pretty slow start. It doesn't pick up exactly after the ending of Anatomy. There is no indication there's like a time skip or not, but definitely some time has passed. And Hazel, she treats people, like the citizens, mostly the poor of Edinburgh, in her family mansion. Her family is currently like, I think her dad is in some island doing some business, and then her mom is still in mourning from the loss of their older brother, so she's staying in London. So Hazel has the family mansion to herself, and she's using it openly to the public to treat people. So she's like a street doctor, basically. And that is kind of like where we end in Anatomy, and that's not really much of a spoiler because she starts treating people for free throughout the book when she, like, as she learns medicine and stuff like that. So that's not a spoiler at all, but that is how Immortality starts. She's just doing business as usual. So it is very slow in the beginning because you're just watching her like do these like medical procedures. Y'all, I was squirming like crazy at work because literally the first chapter, she's like performing like some sort of like, there's this patient that came in that he broke his leg. No, he broke his arm and he never said it correctly. And it's infected. His arm's like all fucked up. And she's like, okay, I'm just gonna cut you open, drain the infection, and set your bones back. And I'm listening to this. I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all, they go into detail of the pus and the infection. And I'm at work and I'm just like, oh, stop it. No. Oh my god, it was so gross. It was, that was disgusting. And I almost threw my phone across the office. That shit was nasty as fuck. So, yeah, jump scare, trigger warning. If y'all don't do well with like graphic stuff, yeah, it wasn't as bad. Like, I don't remember it being as graphic in this one. I remember like being like squeamish a little bit, but this one, they were going in medically. I was like, whoa, crazy. So definitely if you're squeamish, very graphic. And yeah, so basically we're just following that, and then gets accused of committing a crime, and she's already like frowned upon on like in society because, you know, she's a lady and she's doing something that women are not supposed to be doing. So she's already like frowned upon, and then she gets arrested for basically doing her doctor shit. And now she gets rescued by the English royal family because they need her, because Princess Charlotte is very sick and they don't know who else to turn to. So I'm literally at the part where the royal family is like, we'll get you out of jail if you help us out. That is where I'm at. It is good so far. Like I said, it started to finally pick up because it was very slow in the beginning. Like, very, like, I feel like I was following a doctor around doing doctor shit, and I'm like, okay, enough of the graphic stuff, please, I beg. That is my reading updates, I guess, so far for you guys. I do have a book haul. I have a book haul because I need to be stopped. I need to be arrested and thrown into prison, and I need my debit card taken away from me. I did have a moment of weakness at the Barnes & Noble because, so I met up with my friend Danny, and we both had a moment of weakness. Like, we both went a little boohoo crazy at the Barnes & Noble. But it's fine. I pay my bills. My bills are paid. So, does it really matter what I do with my money? No. Life is short. The world's gonna end regardless. Anyways, let's get into this book haul. But I will say, I'm officially in a book buying ban because I cannot. We cannot keep doing this. This is insane. This is kind of crazy. So book buying ban indefinitely, except for some pre-orders that I've done. That doesn't count. So you will be seeing pre-orders in some future vlogs, but as for now, we're done. The lie detector determined that was a lie. So first things first, actually, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna show up on some of these Rob lists, but I managed to snag the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Wings of Starlight. I know I mentioned this in my February wrap-up. I just didn't have the copy then because I was meeting up with Danny like literally the next day. So I didn't have the copy when I made that video. But here she is in all of her glory. I'm currently in my Pixie Hollow universe hyperfixation. So I was like, I need a copy of this. And I literally got the last one in the 100-mile radius. And it's sold out everywhere where I live. And I got the last one. So it was fate, okay? It was pixie dust that got me this edition. Look how beautiful. I'm deceased. Okay. Gorgina. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't know who he is. I'm gonna find out though. But he fine. He fine as hell. Okay. And I finished watching with my husband. I got him pulled in, y'all. I finished The Great Fairy Rescue last night or the night before, and that was really good. Like, the Tinkerbell movies Y'all, the Tinkerbell movies are really, really good. I've been enjoying myself watching them. And my husband, he's been like really sucked into. He's like, these are really good. I'm like, they are. So far, my favorite movie is the second one. I forgot the name of it. I'll put the title here. The second movie, that one was really good. The third movie, The Great Fairy Rescue, that one was okay. But the second one is my favorite so far. But I have to read this first before I watch the fourth movie, which is the Winter Fairy one, I believe. There's a lot of context in it that would make sense in this book, so I have to watch that first, and then... No, I'm sorry, I have to read this first and then watch that. But yes, apparently it connects, and people are recommending to read this before watching the movie, so that is the plan. And then I got Dating and Dismemberment by A.L. Brody. It's been blurbed by Kimberly Lemming. Okay, I'm like, how did I miss this the first time? I have to get it because it's a monster romance and it's blurbed by Kimberly Lemming. Hello? We're adding it to my never-ending physical TBR. And then, Jesus Christ, this is so bad. I got Half a Soul. Like, a few of my favorite book talkers love this book. It's fairy. It's fae related. So I'm excited for that. And then this is the main thing I went to Barnes & Noble for. Emily Henry's Funny Story. The paperback version finally came out. I've been waiting because I definitely want to annotate this. And I'm not a hardcover girly like that. I love paperbacks, okay? So when she finally announced on her Instagram that paperback is out, I'm like, bitch, we gotta go to Barnes. This is literally one of my favorite reads of last year. I fucking love you, Funny Story. But yeah, this was the main reason I went to Barnes, but then I went crazy. And then I got the second book to Emily Wilde's Map of Otherlands. Did I really need to get the second book, even though I didn't read the first one? No. Did I do it anyways? Yes. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to be crazy. I just wanted to feel something. I wanted dopamine in my system. So that is my book haul. Oh, and one last thing. I got this bookmark that I saw at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, what? This at a Barnes & Noble? I don't watch porn. I read it like a fucking lady. Yes, this was at a Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I'm gonna get this, period. The reading plans for this vlog is obviously to finish I Got Adopted by Aliens, and Now I'm Trapped in Rom-Com, and then Immortality, a love story. I definitely want to read volume 4 and 5 of Heartstopper. I just have to get the volumes from my best friend. He has them right now. Well, they're his. I need to borrow it from him. And yeah, I know that in case you guys haven't seen my previous video, I was supposed to read A Conjuring of Light, which is the third book in the Shades of Magic trilogy, and A Psalm of the Wild. I'm putting those on pause for now because I want to finish these books for this vlog, read the rest of the Heartstopper volumes, and then I need to start working on my first themed video. So those are updates for now, and then I will come back to you guys when I have more reading updates. So we're dead because the vibes go from war trauma to alien romance.
The juxtaposition.
Hey, I'm here with a reading update. So I do have some unfortunate news, and that is that I decided to DNF Immortality. So the last update I left off with was that Hazel was bailed out basically by the English royal family so she can help treat Princess Charlotte because she has fallen under a mysterious illness and she can't get better. Like, she's been seen by the best of the best doctors throughout England and they can't cure her. So Hazel is their last resort. They're like, you're a female doctor, maybe you know, she'll feel more comfortable speaking with a female doctor, blah blah. And so she gets to England, but then this is the part that like I feel like just fell apart for me, and that was it just how do I explain this? I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but it felt like I was reading a Bridgerton spin-off, because as soon as Hazel gets to England and I guess has her first meeting with Princess Charlotte, it just becomes like, I don't know, it's like a different story. You're involved in like the royal court and learning about the different lords and ladies and like basically the whole politics with the court or the royal court, the king and the queen, and then try to find out what this mysterious illness is. And this is not me shitting on the Bridgerton series. It was just giving like that Bridgerton-esque like feel to it, because I'm just like, okay, like I don't really care about this. Like, I genuinely I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. And, you know, I'm reading it. I DNF'd it at the 50% mark. And I just kept pushing myself to continue reading it, because I'm like, I have to know what happens. Like, because even though book one ended very open-ended, it still is a bit of a cliffhanger. And I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm reading this because I need closure from book one. Book one was crazy, and I needed closure. But this just feels like, it's just, the tone of this book is so different. It doesn't have that same gothic, gritty, dark feel like the first book. And the first book was so medicine and science heavy as well. And this book is just not, the sequel is just not giving that. Like, the first few chapters before she got arrested, it left off from the first book. She's treating these patients in her home. She's basically a street doctor, and then, you know, like that crazy surgery in the beginning with like the pus and then breaking the bones and all that. That was the vibes of book one. And I was happy. I was like, okay, yeah, like I hope that's the vibes for the rest of the book. It's not. It's like as soon as she gets to England and meets the royal court and everything, it's just, the vibes shifted. It's a lot of meandering. The plot isn't moving forward. I just found myself extremely bored. Hazel, I still really liked Hazel, and I still love, you know, seeing her have to jump through hurdles of being a woman in the medical field when technically they're not supposed to be practicing medicine, period. That part, that historical part of that, I really do still enjoy. But everything else just really fell apart for me and just got boring, and I just did not care about Princess Charlotte. Like, as soon as Hazel finds out what the mysterious illness is that Princess Charlotte was having, I was so done. I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, what? This is so silly. I just couldn't take it seriously anymore, and I just wasn't having fun with this anymore. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and DNF this. And per usual, when I DNF a book, I just go on Goodreads, look at spoiler-filled reviews, because I needed to know. I was like, I need to know what happened to a certain character from book one. And you find out what happens to that character 70% into the book, and it just wasn't really satisfying. You know, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, and then you find out the choice that Hazel wants to make near the end, and I'm like, okay, sure. I'm glad I didn't spend more time reading this book. I definitely would have been upset. But yeah, this is really disappointing, and I guess I can mark this book off of my physical TBR, but this is going to officially go on my DNF pile. So the next update is with I got abducted by aliens, and now I'm trapped in a rom-com. I am now at the 50% mark, and I'm having a great time so far. So Dorothy, after she crash lands on a planet with Toto, she meets the alien goat man named Soul, and he's just like trying to take her to his tribe. And while they're on their way to his tribe, they all meet another alien named Locke, and yeah, good old sexy spicy time be happening. It be happening. And I'm here for it. I'm eating this up. So another character also gets introduced. His name is Intern. It's one of the alien owls that was studying Dorothy, Toto, Sol, and Locke, basically studying their interactions. And he's also kind of like, I guess, an alien version of a biologist, and studying like Locke's species and Sol's species, and he basically is trying to get them all to mate. They're all like, bro, what the fuck? It's so crazy. It's so funny. And anyways, he ends up joining, I guess you could say their party. He ends up joining their party because Dorothy's like, listen, I don't care about like Dorothy feels for him because she was also an intern trying to get her PhD, so she understands where this alien owl is coming from, about him studying her and Sol and Locke and Toto. And he's like, listen, I'm doing this because it's part of my job too, part of my research. And she's like, from one intern to another, can you please help us out and get us back to the research center? So that is where I am at now. Intern. She literally named the alien owl Intern. And I'm like, okay. So Intern is helping the gang out, and they're all writing these cute little dinosaur things, and they're writing to the research center. So that is where I'm at, and I'm hoping I can have this book finished by this week. Today's Sunday. Today is Sunday, March 9th. I've been a busy bee, so I haven't really been able to sit down and read, but I'm hoping that I should have this done by the next 2 or 3 days. There was this one, I need to annotate it, but there's this one page on here that had me emotional, and that was when basically Dorothy is just expressing like just her anger, and like just she was expressing like how angry she was that her life has been like thrown off course ever since being abducted by the aliens, because, you know, she was this close to getting her PhD, and she's like, bro, like, I fucking hate my life. I want my life back. I'm so upset. I'm so angry. Like, I almost got, like, what I wanted, blah, blah. And then Toto's just like, stop worrying so much. And Dorothy's like, we almost died. Like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna be worried about stuff. And then Toto says, everyone dies. You can catch your last drink at the river before becoming a crocodile's meal. A hunt gone wrong could leave you trampled, or maybe you become one of the lucky ones that last long enough to see your mane turn gray. If you want to find some meaning to life, then fine, but maybe it's just not that serious. Look around you. You'll be alright. We've been here less than 2 sunrises and look at all that's happened. Even if we die tomorrow, we've walked where no one else has and seen more than most do in a lifetime. If we do live to see tomorrow, great. There will be more to see and do. But for now, at least our bellies are full. Stop worrying about your life's plan and sunbathe with me. It's a good day. I'm like, oh my god. That was so, like, that made me so emotional. I was like, oh, wow, like, and then some crazy alien sex happened afterwards, and I was like, thank you. That was beautiful. A beautiful life message, and then some alien spice scene. Like, come on. Come on. Kimberly Lemming. That is all that I have so far. I don't know if I have time to try to fit in a 3rd book. I wasn't expecting to DNF Immortality. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like, I was expecting to fully finish it and enjoy it, but that didn't happen. So I'm not sure. I don't want to promise anything, but if I'm able to fit in another book, it might be Heartstopper Volume 4 and 5. I just need to get the copies from my friend. So that might be the move. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get some more reading done and catch up with you guys on the next clip. Hey friends. So, I got edited by aliens and now I'm trapped in rom-com. If you would have told me a year ago I would be DNFing a Kimberly Lemming book, I would have punched you in the face and then I would have called you a liar. But here we are in the year of our Lord 2025, DNFing a Kimberly Lemming book. Oh my god, I got to page 200 and I DNF'd it. I just couldn't, So I know in the beginning of the reading vlog, I talked about how chaotic and fun it was, and I was cracking up, and it's true, it was, like, at first, funny. Like, there were moments where I was cracking up, and it was chaotic in a way that it was fun. The spice scenes between Dorothy, Locke, and Soul were really, really hot. Like, I enjoyed them. And I was doing all right with the book up until I started hitting close to that 50% mark. That's when everything just started kind of dying off for me. The humor just wasn't hitting the same. It wasn't making me laugh anymore. It was just kind of getting a little tiring. And so was the constant chaos. The constant chaos was leaving me confused, and I was having a hard time keeping up with what was going on because so much was happening, so much was going on. Like, every page was some insanity, and I was just having a hard time keeping up with everything. And like I said, even though the spice scenes were written really well and I really liked them, I thought they were hot, I just wasn't picking up on the chemistry between Soul and Locke and Dorothy, and I just wasn't really, I wasn't feeling their romance, and I just couldn't get into them. I didn't really care for Soul or Locke. They really didn't do much for me unless it was like a spice scene. Then, you know, like, Kimberly Lemming, she does a really good job writing them scenes, okay? But other than that, like, I just didn't feel like any other romantic or emotional connection. It was just getting too chaotic for me. And once I hit over that 50% mark, I was like, okay, like, I refused to entertain the idea of DNFing a Kimberly Lemming book because it's Kimberly Lemming. Like, she's one of my favorite authors. Like, why would I DNF a Kimberly Lemming book? So I literally, last night, kept pushing myself to read. I was pushing myself. I was like, no, we're gonna finish this, because I already DNF'd one book in this vlog. We're not DNFing another. And finally, we got to this really crazy scene involving a T-Rex. Because there's dinosaurs in this book. That's another reason, like, if there's one thing y'all should know about me is that I fucking love dinosaurs. So when I knew that there was gonna be dinosaurs in this, I was like, hell yeah. So there was this really cool dinosaur scene in here, and I ate that part up. I'm not gonna lie, like, I was like invested. But as soon as that scene finished, something else happens to Dorothy, and then it was just, how do I explain this? I don't want to sound mean. It was just too, like, the humor was just too cheesy, and it just kind of really ripped me out of, like, the intense, like, plot of the book, which is very Kimberly Lemming of her, because there have been moments like that in the Mead mishaps where some crazy shit would happen, and then, of course, some funny shit would happen with the crazy shit, but it worked. And, like, in the Mead mishaps, it flowed, and it was still genuinely funny even after a very intense, crazy moment. But in this one, it was just, I don't don't know. I guess it was missing the charm, or just something about the humor when you start like progressing in the book just starts falling flat. And so when the humor started kicking in after the very like intense moment, it just was exhausting, and it just took me out of the story. And I'm like, this isn't funny anymore. Like, it's not funny. It felt the humor felt kind of forced in some scenes, and like I said, it just wasn't funny, and it was tiring. And then it was like a formula it was following. Like, it would be like humor, chaos, spice, and that's fine, but it's just, I don't know, it was missing a certain charm to it. It wasn't working for me personally, and it was very disappointing. And then that's when I hit page 200, and I was just like, I can't. I really, really can't. I'm not connecting with Dorothy. I'm not connecting with the humor. I'm not connecting with the romance. It's just, it was just so depressing. I had to accept the truth, and that I was just no longer having fun with this book. And I'm very heartbroken over it, because I love Kimberly Lemming. She is genuinely hilarious to me, and I'm just really sad. I'm so sad. I really thought this was gonna be like a 5-star read for me. I never thought I would DNF this book, so I'm very depressed about it. I was thinking about it all day at work today, because I DNF'd it last night. And I was just like at work thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, like, this sucks. And not only that, we've had 2 DNFs in this vlog. There has not been one successful book in this vlog, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go, another vlog with flops. That's so disappointing. And I'm like, no, we're not gonna end the vlog like this. I still haven't borrowed the Heartstopper Volume 4 and 5 from my friend yet. We've just been so busy, so I haven't been able to get it from him yet. So I'm trying to see if I can get those tomorrow. But I'm just like trying to figure out, like, okay, we need to at least have one successful read in this vlog. So I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what do I read? I don't want to get anything from my physical TBR. I'm not feeling it. Y'all know I'm the moodiest mood reader to ever mood read ever. So I'm like, okay, what should we read? What should we do to find a successful book? So of course I went on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I borrowed this book from Kindle Unlimited. Morning Glory, Milking Farm. I don't know if you guys can see it, so I'll just post a picture here. So, okay, I've already been seeing this all over TikTok and my Instagram, because I follow a few monster romance girlies on there too, and they've read it, and I've seen some pretty mixed reviews. My friend Sheena over at Melanin and Manga, she messaged me yesterday when she saw me posting on Instagram that I'm reading it. She was like, that book is something. And I'm like, girl, I know. I already seen the mixed reviews. I'm here for the experience. Like, I'm having FOMO right now, so, and I need something. I need something, because I already DNF'd 2 books, and I'm like, I need something. And she was like, I'm here for your experience. But anyways, I love her. She's so funny. I'll link her channel down below. But yeah, so Morning Glory, Milking Farm. So basically, this book is about a college student named Violet, and I think she actually, no wait, she's not a college student. So she's a post-grad student, and I don't remember exactly what her degree is in. I'm not sure if she actually like states specifically what her degree is, but she was working for like a nonprofit, and she doesn't have a job anymore, and she's having a hard time in the job market. Her mom calls her and she's like, hey, you can move back, because she's currently living in the city, and I believe her family lives out in the suburbs. And she's like, the mom's like, hey, you can move in back with us while you find a job, so you're not like struggling, blah blah blah. And Violet's like, fuck that shit, like, I'm not moving back in with my parents. Like, I already feel like a failure, and that would make me feel more of a failure if I move back in with my parents, because the point of me moving into the city was so I can, live my life, blah, blah, blah. So, desperate, she finds this, like, or she doesn't find it, I think she has an app on her phone that dings her with a new job opening, and it's to be a milk technician. And it was pretty, like, vague in the job description. It was, like, for some pharmaceutical company, and it offered, like, 2 weeks vacation, PTO, all the good, benefits that you would want in a job, right? So she was like, fuck yeah, like, I need money, I'ma do it, I don't have a job, like, this is out of necessity, I gotta do what I gotta do. So she applies, and she goes for, like, the in-person viewing of the farm. And it's so funny because it's like the outside of the company is like a farm, like a barn, and you go inside and there's like fake grass inside, and it's super colorful. Like the front lobby is super colorful, very like farm-esque, colorful farm-esque fantasy, very pretty, very inviting. And then when she goes to like the employee only section, it's like the fake grass is gone. It's now the ugly like linoleum floor, the cool millennial gray walls, the fluorescent ass lights, like all of that. It's like it's like corporate hell, right? It's like the back rooms. And she's like, okay. And then, she's the only human there, because in this world, humans coexist with mythical creatures. So she's the only human person who applied. So she's with a group of other mythical creatures, and they're being shown around the corporate office. And then the other people who applied sit down for a video training session. Listen, my brain... Okay. When it says milking farm and a monster romance, put 2 and 2 together. And I'm not trying to get this video taken down by YouTube. So it has to do with minotaurs, male minotaurs, and they're the milk technician has to grab their ding dongs and milk the ding dong. Man, I hope this, I don't know, there's no other way for me to explain this. YouTube, please, this is for educational purposes. Do not take my video down. That is the milking farm, okay? It is not like actual milk. It is the other kind of milk, the seed milk. And the reason why is because the pharmaceutical company uses the Minotaur's milk for male enhancement pills. Yep, that is, my friends, that is the premise of Morning Glory Milking Farm. What the fuck did I get myself into? I don't know, but we're here together on this adventure, and I'm very excited but nervous to see how this read goes. So far, 17 pages in, I'm pulled in, but we'll see how that goes, because I have, as y'all have seen, I've read books that I got pulled in, and then unfortunately it just kind of starts falling apart near the middle. So I'm hoping that we can at least finish one book in this vlog. Yeah, so I am going to finish cooking because my chicken's in the oven, and I need to go check on that, make sure it's not burnt. And then I'm gonna do some more reading. So I'll update you guys in a little bit. Hey friends, so I'm here with a reading update. I'm in my car, I'm on my 15-minute break at work. I needed to get out of the office because the office has been super overstimulating to me lately, like the bright ass, fluorescent ass lights, all my coworkers talking on the phone. Like, I've just been like, get me out of this office. So I'm taking my break in my car. Morning Glory Milking Farm. So I have so many conflicting feelings / thoughts about this book.
I'm not necessarily disliking it. Like I'm intrigued. I'm pulled in. I'm now on page 97, chapter 8. I'm pulled into the story. Like every time I pick it up to read, I'm reading. I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm just like conflicted because it's just so like, I mean, I read monster romances, but I think this might be a little bit out of my comfort zone. Because she literally works at a pharmacy or at a pharmaceutical company milking minotaurs. And I'm just like, so it's just so interesting because the way the author describes Violet, our main character's her daily shifts at the milking farm, it's very like, I don't want to say scientific, but it's very like just like clocking in, doing her job, clocking out type shit, you know? So it's just very interesting to me how it's written. But there is this one client, we still don't know what his name is. He hasn't said his name. It's supposed to be, very professional. She's supposed to, go in, milk the minotaurs, collect the stuff, and be on their merry way, and her like going on to the next client. It's supposed to be very professional, very in and out. No pun intended. But obviously there are some clientele who they have like different names. I think there's oh my god, I forgot. There's the earners who go in and they provide a lot of milk, and they go in regularly. They're pretty chill. They know the rules. They know what to do. They go in, get milked. This is so crazy. Like, the way I'm describing it is crazy. They go in, they get milked, they get paid, they move on. And then there's like I forget what they're called. I can't believe I forgot the name. I think it's called like the pump and goes. I'm probably saying it wrong. That's not their name. I think they're called the good little cows. The earners is what I just described. The good little cows, I think are the ones that just kind of like go in and obviously are there for like to feel good, and they sometimes request, like, some of them sometimes go as a kink and they go in and request stuff, like certain services. And I'm pretty sure there's one more group of minotaurs that I want to say it's the pump and go people, but I think I'm confusing them with the good little cows. And I think there might be the same people. Anyways, sometimes they talk dirty to the milk technicians, and so there's some like chapters of Violet experiencing some good little cows, and like literally the chapter before, chapter 7, there's just some dude that's just like really into it, really like, talking dirty, whatever. And Violet's just like, whatever, like, she's just, I'm here, I'm clocked in, I'm the milk technician, I'm milking you. I'm not experiencing any like arousal from this. But there is this one client who is a businessman, and he's like her first client. So this is like her first shift on her own. And she's smitten by him because she just loves the way he looks. Like, he's like, built, muscular, and obviously, like I said, he was her first client, and she was just enamored by him. And she's like, oh, okay, I have to keep this professional. But she was so good at being a milk technician. He has put in a request for her that she be her, like, his assigned milk technician on Fridays. So he is her last appointment every week on Fridays. And she's like, oh my god, like, she's like falling in love with this man, doesn't even know his name. And every time he comes in, they have more conversations, and they get to know each other, and she's just like this is so unprofessional. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get fired. Like, I'm having feelings for this Minotaur, and I don't know how he feels about me. Um, and yeah, so um, it's just been a very interesting read. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I am wondering how this romance is gonna blossom, because obviously she's being like a little unprofessional, or not a little, but she's being unprofessional with this man. And so I'm just interested to see how this is gonna play out, because every time he comes, pun intended, she's just like in love with this man. She's just like, oh my god, like I love milking this man. Like I love being this man's milk technician. Like she is 10 toes down for this man. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm really like, I'm intrigued. I'm pulled in. I'm interested. It's just a very interesting read. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Hey friends, so I have a few updates. Update one is that we finally have a working mic for the vlogs. This mic that I bought was absolutely horrendous, and the audio was terrible in the vlogs. Like I did some testing vlogs or testing clips, and it was just so bad. So I was just doing hella research and saving up some money also to get like a good quality mic. And I found this one. And so far, from the test clips I've been doing, it sounds pretty good. I mean, let me know in the comment section how the audio sounds with this mic. I did play around with this for a little bit before I started recording this clip. So I think it sounds okay from the test clips, but you're the audience. You let me know what you think the audio sounds like. I did clip it to this bookmark here because this is so tiny. I don't want to like just hold it like that the whole time, you know? Um, so I thought it'd be cute if I just like clip it onto a little bookmark and just like, have more room to hold on to it and instead of just holding this little tiny little thing. But yeah, I'm really excited that we have a mic finally. And again, I hope I sound really clear. Like the audio sounds clear and stuff. But yeah, so I'm excited for this new mic. Next update is that your girl is sick. I'm sick. I have a cold. Um, you probably can hear it. I'm so stuffy. I have like a slight headache. It's not COVID. It's just a random ass cold that I got because life lately is like, how can we continue to mess with Michelle? That seems to be the motto of 2025. What can we do to continuously fuck with her? Um, let's give her a cold. Let's just give her a random ass cold at the end of March. And I'm like, okay, sure. But the thing is, I only get sick once a year. So honestly, that's fine. Give me my cold so I can be over it and live my life for the rest of the year. Like, that's fine. Because once I usually just get a cold once and then I'm good for the year. So if life wants to give me a cold right now, and like if that means that I'm good for the rest of the year, then that's fine. I'll live. But I just took some Dayquil and I'm just vibing. I'm vibing, I'm hydrating, I'm chilling. I'm tired. And yeah. And then the third update is I finished Morning Glory Milking Farm. So I ended up rating this 3.5 stars. It was in between 3.5 and 4 stars because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like, even though this book was mad weird, it was mad weird. I'm not gonna lie. It was very out of my comfort zone, I guess, with monster romance because I'm used to, like the werewolves, the vampires, the demons, dragon, dragon, yeah, dragons. I guess because like they're like demons and they turn to dragons. But minotaurs, I don't think I've traversed that realm of monster romance before. I'm not saying like I was weirded out by it. It was just like weird in a sense of like, okay, like we are like I guess exploring a romance that isn't like your typical werewolf, vampire, demon, fae. You know what I mean? Um so it was weird in that way, but not weird as in like grossed out. Like it was still like a good time. Like I had a good time. 100% giving Zootopia vibes. Like I kid you not, the world building in this, like the environment, the city, I think it's the oh my goodness, what is the city called? Cambia Creek, I think, is the name of the town where all mythical creatures live. They have everybody. Like everybody lives there. Like ogres, orcs, elves, centaurs, minotaurs. Like it is quite literally Zootopia. And I was like vibing with it. Like I really enjoyed it. I actually kind of wished um we explored more of that. And there are more books in the series. I think there's like 6 books. Let me look it up really quickly. Okay, I just had to go to Amazon real quick. There are 5 books in the series, and the name of the town is Cambric Creek. So that is the world where all the mythical creatures live. And yeah, it was giving Zootopia vibes, and I was here for it 100%. And honestly, it wasn't a bad book. It really wasn't. And the reason why I ended up giving it 3.5 stars instead of 4, because I know I was saying that I was in between 3.5 and 4, is because I really enjoyed I guess, the forbidden romance aspect of it because Violet was struggling with her, like, with her obsession with her client and her being like, oh my God, this is so unprofessional. I'm a milk technician, he's a client, and I have to keep this professional, but like every day, or like not every day, but like the day that he would come in every Friday. Her love for him, her obsession for him would just grow and grow, and she would just have these fantasies when she would go home, and she's like, feeling guilty, she's feeling, I don't want to say grossed out by herself, but more like she was shaming herself. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Like it was like that slow burn because you can tell that the Minotaur, and we do end up finding out what his name is, but I'm not going to say his name because I think it's part of like that slow burn in the book. So if you guys decide to read it, you'll find out what his name is. But I think not knowing his name for like a good chunk of the book adds to that like building of tension. So again, I'm not going to give away his name, but um he also starts like developing feelings for her, and then there's just like this like tension and this build up, and I really enjoyed that part because it was very like character driven more than plot driven. And if you've seen my previous videos, I'm more of a plot driven girl than character driven unless it's done right. And I feel like it's done really well. Like the writing, besides some typos, there were some typos and some misspellings, but it wasn't like to the point where it deterred me from my reading experience. It was still written very well, and I really liked it. Like I really liked like being in Violet's head and her rumination of like her obsession with him. And I mean, I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I really liked it. Like I really liked like just like being in her head and being like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with me? I like this guy," and blah blah blah. And then like you just see him also like develop feelings for her, and it's just like this will they won't they, and I really like that. I really really enjoyed it. And um another critique I have is like the lack of world building. I feel like I wish there was more to Morning Glory Milking Farm. It's a pharmaceutical company in the Cambric Creek location, and I just wish we had more world building, wish we went more in depth about it. But this is a monster romance, so the focus was in the romance, obviously. But you know, it's that's just a me thing. I just wish like we did delve into it because it was so interesting. I thought it was very unique. And um it did though started getting boring after that like 50 to 60% mark, because you know, after the couple start, you know, like accepting their feelings towards each other and blah blah blah, it, it's just started to get kind of like too domesticated for me. And it was just very low stakes. There was no consequences to certain actions that were done in the book, and I was kind of hoping there would be some consequence um to something that had happened in the book, but nothing really happens. And that was kind of a little bit of a letdown. It was like this build up, this build up, and then when the thing finally happens, it's like, oh, okay, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Because you know, Violet's just been really stressing out about this, and then nothing happens, and then it just got a little bit boring and very domesticated for me. And that's where it dropped from like a 4 star to a 3.5 star, because it's to me it's not like a 3 star read because it's still really good, but unfortunately when like the climax happened, it just kind of like the charm a little bit, just everything just kind of like died off for me. um and it got a little bit boring at the end, sadly. But I still had a great time. It was definitely like it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, like I guess in terms of like monster romance that isn't like vampire, werewolf, demon, fae, blah blah. And yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a fun time. I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed Violet. I enjoyed the Minotaur. I enjoyed their slow burn romance. I thought it was well written, and I recommend it. It was a great time. It was a fun time. It was definitely like a to me, it was a success after DNFing 2 books in this vlog, which was very upsetting. I'm upset that we had 2 flop, be honest. Like I'm like, damn. Um, but I'm not calling this vlog a fail. I ended up finding a book that I liked, so that's not a failure in my books. So it's not a flop. It's not a complete flop. But I did end up getting volume 4 and 5 of Heartstopper from my friend finally. We've just been so busy, but I was finally able to borrow it from him. But unfortunately, this vlog is too damn long, and I'm already working on a different vlog, and it's a themed vlog. So I can't read those right now, but I have them. They are in my possession, so they will be read in a different reading vlog. So I have not forgotten them. With that being said, I need to start editing this vlog because I have this disgusting habit of vlogging almost an hour worth of a reading vlog and then just never editing, and then editing last minute. So I'm probably going to be here glued to my desk on this beautiful Sunday, sick as fuck, editing because I just like to procrastinate. That's just my middle name. and and yeah, so I am excited to start on my themed reading vlog. I actually changed it up a little bit. It was supposed to be like a different theme, but I was like, oh my god, what if I do this instead? And I'm not gonna say what it is just yet. You guys will see it when it's posted. But yes, if you guys made it to the end of this vlog, what emoji should we use? Oh, do the cow emoji for milk for the milking farm. So leave a little cow emoji for that. And I'm going to go ahead and start editing this vlog and take some more Dayquil and probably take a big fat nap later. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.